Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17
and Greyshot151 here.
And today we're going over the top 10 worst movies of 2018. Now, these are not necessarily the worst on worst, like Rotten Tomatoes score, but these are the ones that at least when we watched, we just did not care for at all.
Yep.
Also, we should probably mention that certain movies, let's say 50 Shades Freed, we didn't go see just because of time, or unfortunately, you couldn't make it with your girlfriend. But otherwise, you probably would absolutely say.
What a shame. I missed that.
So again, these are movies we actually saw. So again, from that point on, let's continue. Yes. On our honorable mention, we have one that honestly just barely made on honorable mention.
Yes.
It wasn't enough to make the list, but it was still something that we felt a little disappointment toward.
Again, we rated it positively, which was Pacific Rim Uprising, but honestly, it was kind of a disappointment, especially when compared to the original. None of the themes are there. The monster action, there's 2 good fights, 2 meh fights.
The mech fight's probably my favorite.
Yeah, mech v mech is the best one, and well, the finale's cool. It's got a host of problems. The characters have their host of problems. There's maybe 2 good characters, excluding the ones that have come back from the previous movie.
The visceral nature is kind of gone from it. I really wish they would highlight that more, but they made it a little bit more child friendly in this, even though there's some really weird parts in it, like the villain. But overall,
which honestly I thought was positive, and that's why I think kept this off the. I actually really enjoyed the villain. Yeah. So that kind of kept it off our list.
It's middle of the tier, but it was still something we wanted to bring up. That being said, number 10 on our list of disappointing / worst movies of the year, Venom.
Yes.
This movie is bad, but it's fun bad, which is why it's at the 10th spot of our list. Because even though we can say from an objective standpoint, this movie is trash, it is enjoyable trash that you can watch with friends, especially while drunk.
This is the Taco Bell of movies. You eat it, and you're like, this is the greatest thing ever. And then a few hours later, just like,
you're paying for it.
It wasn't. It really wasn't.
Tom Hardy's performance is insane. The rest of the cast are either miscast or not used enough. But, and also some wigs are not really well used. But that being said, once Eddie Brock finally gets his Venom,
once he gets a symbiote,
it's going well. That being said, there's like a SWAT battle. It doesn't make sense. Why is SWAT there? Yeah. There's other instances where, of course, he's fighting another version of himself that's slightly different color. The whole like traversal plot of that symbiote trying to go across the world in 6 months.
I don't believe. Character turn of Venom itself, like going from I hate the world to I'm kind of a loser. I'm a loser, Eddie. So those problems aside, this movie's just stupid fun. Yeah. And that's why it's number 10.
Now, number 9 is another movie we said was stupid fun, but
less so.
I saw this movie twice.
I'd watch Venom over this movie.
Yeah, it's The Predator. The Predator is, in some regard, fine. I think that I think
the first half of this movie is far better than the second half. Yeah. Especially the OG Predator's in there, and he kicks a lot of ass. And
once the OG Predator dies, things start going downhill.
Things drop drop hard.
And that ending, that ending with the hunter killer is just painful because, like, okay, first off, we know you're not getting a sequel. Secondly, that suit looked dumb. Thirdly,
why would the Predator want to give that to humans if it's... Again, it should have ended with an alien egg. It should have ended with, like...
It was perfect for it.
It was like, why would the why would the Predator be wanting to murder humans and then give us this? And it's like an FU to the rest of the... Because he knows humans will never be able to be used again. It's like, but...
That would be perfect. It would just be it would fit with also Shane Black's style of comedy. Yeah. So that's what I would have preferred. Number 8 is Rampage. Rampage, there's a couple fun moments in terms of the monster battle.
Specifically the last 20 minutes.
But the problem is the rest of the movie is boring, stupid. Dwayne Rock Johnson tries his best to keep this movie afloat. But
and his connection with George are the highlights. Yes. But it can't stop, like, a whole bunch of plot issues. Like a guy that teleports across the city. The guy that plays the guy from The Walking Dead. The guy with the baseball bat. Negan. Yeah. He just teleports everywhere, and you're just like, how the heck is he getting?
Also, the main villains are literally worse than cartoon characters. I think there are better villains in He-Man or like what's it called? What's the...
No, just cheesy...
Inspector Gadget. Gadget, thank you. There's better villains in there than these 2 idiots. But in any case, moving on from that, we have The Grinch. The Grinch is not a bad movie per se.
It's just painfully average.
I think it's best described. It's so painfully average that it became one of my worst movies. Just because they did nothing. If you watch the original animation, you pretty much know the story. Yep. At least, again, I know this is going to be divisive. At least the Jim Carrey version tried something different.
It was insane. It was adult, but when I say adult, I mean adult crude, not adult funny. Like it had a lot of
crude humor
jokes
in that, but there's some great ones like him running away from the car and exploding, causing this huge explosion. That stuff is just funny to me.
Is it Dr. Seuss? No, but itself as a movie, it's like this is a despicable character that has this redefining moment, and you can see that arc. In this movie,
he's already had that arc. I don't believe he's a bad person. Yeah, he's misunderstood, but he literally does good things throughout this movie.
Yeah.
Like, and I do mean like really good, where the Jim Carrey's like,
Jim Carrey never did a good thing.
I mean, like at the postage station, she saved the girl's life. He saved the girl's life
because he's not a murderer, but
then wrapped her up to be like, yeah, bye now. But like, it was always like bad. He literally lets an animal go back to its family. It's like even the Grinch would be like, nah, you're gonna stay around with me until this job is done.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Oh, no, or the family like, oh, you have a family. Cut to him strapping the family down like with duct tape to his machine. That way, he has a full reindeer set. Like, he would have somehow twisted it to his favor, not let it go. But, so yeah, it didn't work. Speaking of another movie that didn't work,
oh boy,
Tomb Raider. I actually thought this movie was painfully average, but I liked it. I also liked the ending.
I despise this movie, because I played the original Tomb Raider and it changes the plot. And I know a lot of people didn't like the supernatural stuff, whatever. I did. I thought it was great. And the movie is literally a lighter version of Tomb Raider. It's PG-13. There's literally moments in Tomb Raider where it feels like the Descent. And it worked with that that game, because there's really a scene where there's hanging bodies and you're running away from an ancient, like, samurai undead creature. And it works amazingly well. But in this, they don't have that. They have
a plague. They have like an ancient Japanese plague, which is cool. I actually really enjoyed that part.
Yeah.
But it can't help the fact that your villain's kind of basic. That literally the ending, she could have saved her father with like a simple hack, like literally cut the arm off. There, you're saved. There's a lot of things that this movie just doesn't
do well.
It doesn't do it well, and at the end, you're just like, the game did it better.
Yeah,
and
the game did it better.
That's not a good thing. Speaking of things done better, Cloverfield Paradox.
Here's the thing. When this was announced during the Super Bowl, I was at work. I literally work in a jail. The trailer comes up. I'm like, wait, what? And so I run back to my desk after things are calm. Literally, double check my computer. Every single person in my work went freaking crazy for this movie. And I was so happy to have this thing. I watch it. I was okay with it, but then
I thought it was absolutely
but literally
trash.
You could see everyone going from happy to literally everyone going like, it was okay, and then literally everyone's like, yeah, it's not that great, because
and then to me, which I was like, no, it's dumb.
Generic sci-fi, and if it was just generic sci-fi, that'll be fine.
It's generic sci-fi that makes no absolute sense.
Exactly,
like it's just randomness.
But the problem is, it has the Cloverfield name, and that's the biggest issue with this movie. Is it has the Cloverfield name? It doesn't make any sense in terms of the Cloverfield universe. And it doesn't properly fit. 10 Cloverfield Lane was a proper... You could say it was a different movie at first. That's fine. But it felt natural within the scope of the Cloverfield universe. This does not. It doesn't fit within the scope of the movie.
Overlord feels more in line with the Cloverfield universe than this movie did. Even though this movie apparently is the reason why all the other ones happen.
But in any case, so great surprise. Unfortunately, also not that great.
Next up, though, speaking of disappointing, Happy Time Murders.
I saw
Funny trailer. Not funny execution.
Yeah, the puppets are fine, and again, the effects they do is great. Melissa McCarthy's not bad, she's okay, but the problem with this film is the fact this movie's not funny, and it's really, really dumb. They try to make this a noir puppet film, and you could see the villain coming a mile away.
The Who Framed Roger Rabbit of Muppets.
That's what I wanted it to be, but it's not. It's just boring and stupid.
See, even Who Framed Roger Rabbit didn't have the greatest mystery.
Yeah.
Like, its mystery was kind of like, even me as a kid, I didn't see it was the judge all along, but you need still that compelling mystery aspect to drag you along. And for what I heard from you, you were so anti against this movie that I was just like, okay. Thanks.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, I don't think it's the worst, but there's way better films like Who Framed Roger Rabbit that you can watch instead of this.
But you know what was worse? Fallen Kingdom.
This movie, I walked. I felt bad. Everyone at my work was fine with it, but I felt honestly bad for taking them to see this movie because I'm like, this is boring and stupid.
I watched this on a plane,
and I was like a 5 out of 10. I think we gave it on the review, but on like hindsight, I would have given like a 3, like a 2.
The opening sequence, okay.
The opening sequence is fine. The volcano is fine. Once they leave that island and literally keep dinosaurs in cages for half the movie, you don't even get a cool sequence like the end of Lost World, where they're like a T-Rex
busting out
in the San Diego. It's like they thought, hey, you know what's amazing about Lost World? Let's have all the dinosaurs in cages, except make that half the movie and remove the dinosaurs in the wild. United
can't
States.
Say Lost World's dumb anymore because this one did it dumber.
Yeah, this movie is in my opinion, probably worse than Jurassic Park 3. That's how bad this
God,
movie.
yes. Like, okay, the initial action sequence is cool,
yeah.
But even the characters in Jurassic Park 3, I like more than
Jurassic
this one.
Park 3 had the cage sequence and also the dinosaur T-Rex fight. Even though it's a minute, that's how long the intro is. So, the mosasaur in it, you see in the trailers. The T-Rex you see in the trailer. Again, the T-Rex also kind of pops in, roars, and then leaves. It's like kind of like the what is it? The lion. It's
like a sketch comedy.
It's like a lion or something, or like the sketch comedy from Nostalgia Critic where they had Wonder Woman just walk through, they're like hello, and kind of leave. It's just like. That's what it is. It's literally just saying, hi, folks, and leaving.
Remember this?
It's dumb. It's stupid. I don't recommend it. Go watch the Jurassic World. We still think that's a great movie.
Yes.
But Fallen Kingdom's terrible.
But if you want to go to a disappointing, another smaller film that was also disappointing,
Did you see this film?
I never did, but you put this on the list and
okay, so my good friend, yes, I'm calling you out, Amy, if you watch this. She recommends movies, and I will watch them. And she's usually good about finding good horror films. She said, hey, you should watch Open House. So I watched Open House. I finished Open House, I messaged her saying, what did you just have me watch? Because this movie is terrible. It doesn't make sense. You never know who the villain is, or the evil character. The mom and the son have plot lines that go out that don't make sense and don't wrap up. There's a weird torture sequence in this movie that doesn't really add up to anything. Somehow this killer is able to outrun an apparently Olympic runner. Yes, that's apparently a thing in this movie. It doesn't make sense if it's supernatural or something. It just seems like a normal person that's somehow like a metahuman. I don't understand this movie. It's so incredibly stupid. And yeah.
So just an extremely poor horror
It's
movie.
on Netflix, so it makes kind of sense that they would dump this movie and hopefully no one would watch it. But I was actually recommended people to say, go check out this movie, until I realized they're saying, go check out this movie because it's so bad. And I'm like, oh no. But in any case, there's another Netflix movie that made our #1 spot.
Yes, and if you've seen our worst movie of 2019, this comes to no surprise. Godzilla, City on the Edge of Battle, the second in the Godzilla trilogy. And really, I will say the first movie was like, great premise. Second movie was like, now let's take that premise and dive it as far into the ground as possible.
Let's take it into the backyard,
yes.
Beat it with a baseball bat, and then tell it, guess what? You need to go run 10 miles tomorrow, and we just broke your legs. See, good luck.
The thing with this movie is, it's... Okay, at this point, you can tell the animation budget has not been increased. What they focus on because Mechagodzilla, they use as a city, mainly because if it's immobile, they don't have to animate it. Godzilla does a trench run to go kill Mechagodzilla.
But it's so slow.
But and there's no actual combat. But again, other thing I will say is, Greyshots.
I'm sorry.
Why is there no combat? Is that the only reason why you're saying this? No, because the animation's bad. The characters are bad. The whole premise of... I'm trying to remember this.
I'm trying to keep my movie. They put more effects into the robots. The director thought, hey, you know what Godzilla needs? Giant robots. That are literally like 30 feet tall compared to this 1,000-foot behemoth.
I watched this so long ago. I'm trying to remember what's in this one and not what's in
there's
Planet
the other aliens that believe that merging themselves with machines. But here's the thing. They're like, no, we have to destroy these machines because they're expanding and they'll take over the whole world. Here's the thing, though. These machines had, 20,000 years, and they went a few miles, if that. In 20,000 years. That is slower than the Mist TV show.
Even on an exponential rate, if it took 20,000 years to get there, they could literally chill for hundreds on the opposite side of the planet, and they would be freaking fine.
You could literally kill Godzilla.
Yes.
Clear the entire world of all the monsters that have popped up from Godzilla.
Yes.
Then make a colony on Australia, launch a ship into space to go find another world that's not as fucked up, and leave that one be. And you would probably still have another few thousand years before really things got bad.
Yeah, if you want an actually good version of this, just go look up the Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla MMD, which shows what Mechagodzilla was supposed to do, which is a whole bunch of like crazy configurations and animate. Like,
better yet, how about this? Go read a comic called Godzilla: The 50 Years War. If you want to see humanity literally breaking apart, being attacked by giant monsters, and having a character arc, interesting moments and characters,
satisfying ending,
and a satisfying ending to a world that's literally being destroyed by giant monsters. Not this philosophical BS that literally tries to be all high and noble, but can't execute its beliefs beyond.
To just peel back the curtain a little bit, the people that made this had no inclination about Godzilla. They never watched anything of it.
This is
the Roland Emmerich of it. But
no, better example. This is the fan 4-stick version of Godzilla, where the director had literally told the crew not to read any material of Fantastic Four, and then made a movie that's considered one of, if not the worst Fantastic Four movie. This, in my opinion, literally probably is still the worst Godzilla movie, even though its sequel is probably runner-up.
In any case, guys, with all that said, those were our top 10 worst/most disappointing movies of 2018.
What were yours?
Yes, leave those in the comments below, because I'm sure you have some arguments, especially against Venom. How dare we defile the greatest Marvel movie ever made?
But in any case, the best part about that, apparently there was some clips on for Spider-Verse. Probably should have stayed for that. But in any case, it's been Greyshot17
and Greyshot151,
and we'll see you all next time.
Later.
Hello everyone, before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Ace, Delta, Joey, JP Vaal, jrchicklis, Milam, Ollie, Onlyplayapples, Pyro Shark, Rifle, sgtMcPain, Streakingwookie, WhiteHotD, Aaron Yee, Jordan Savat, Leo Lou, Nathan, Angus, and Tim. Thank you all for your amazing support. You guys are incredible. This has been Greyshot17, and I'll see you all next time.